a study at all. I think you need to just say, this is what we can do, and have that conversation and flesh them out and see if they really want to play. And if they don't, pick up the phone book and start calling the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. We know a lot of them already. They've already been through town over the last 11 years at least once, and those are just phone calls. You could sit down. You don't need a study for that. I mean, I think somebody said earlier that we know intuitively at this point what's missing in this market. So, you know, then you can build your study on top of stuff like that, because, you know, it takes time to go through your funding cycle. You might as well just pick up the phone now and just have that meeting.
I mean, it took us to give Starbucks what kind of a loan to get them move in there, and that was the most successful Starbucks in Southern California, and it still is. And you talk to the manager of that place, he says, yeah, this community could probably support 8 more. So I mean, you know, but you know, of course, Hispanics don't drink coffee apparently. So corporate America doesn't always have the answer. And you're right, sometimes they require a study to do it. But how do you generate that excitement to make them want to be here? And sometimes you're right, just getting them at the table and saying, you know, what's the commitment to the community to do this? How can we make this happen?
You could have those conversations, right? The city could have them right now if you just called them and sat down with a map of your downtown with the knowledge that the city has, and they would start pointing at different places where they think it would work, just like CVS did when they came to town, and just like everybody else. I mean, they have a general idea where their boxes fit, and you can have those dialogues. Usually, you know, they're only thinking for themselves, which is the case of almost every retailer. So it's very important that somebody be a good steward of the downtown and make sure that you don't get one use at the expense of another use that's in place now or even a future use. So you just need somebody in City Hall to be the or a team. Maybe it's part, you know, bid, and maybe it's part committees, and maybe it's part staff, so that you have like a team of people that have these meetings with these interested parties, so that the various interests are all represented at the table.
And it probably wouldn't hurt as the city to already be addressing some of the infrastructure issues to help facilitate this. You know, so when the guys say, you know, I need 100 parking spaces, and you know, the city lot right next to them only has 100, you know, where the one guy is going to take up all the parking, you can say, well, we're aware of this, but we're also, you know, have this in the works, you know, whether it's a new parking garage or something. I mean,
That's your long-term project.
We have going to have issues with the NPDES, which is the National Pollutant Discharge into Estuaries. It's a stormwater. All the new regulations are coming out this year, where you have to infiltrate on the property. Without a citywide holistic system, you're going to stifle a lot of new construction or redevelopment of buildings, because these small lots actually don't really allow for infiltration underneath the building. So then you're stuck with the buildings that don't work for the new retail.
And I